Good morning, everyone. I'm Sam-Abel Gbinsay presenting the second edition of Liberia Rising. This teaching section, Liberia Rising, is a channel that I created exclusively dedicated to what is needed or what is required to make Liberia Rising work. Therefore, our area of emphasis will often include leadership, attitude, purpose, vision, and commitment. So you're welcome to this section. I want to discuss something very important. I want to talk about inspiring others to raise their own bar. That's leadership. A good leadership inspire others to raise their own bar. I want to read a quote from Oren Woodward. He said, average leaders raise the bar on themselves. Average leaders raise the bar on themselves. The good leaders raise the bar for others. The good leaders raise the bar for others. But great leaders raise the bar. While good leaders raise the bar for others, great leaders inspire others to raise their own bar. I'll read that again. Average leaders raise the bar on themselves. Good leaders raise the bar for others. But great leaders inspire others to raise their own bar. That's why I want to talk about this moment, inspiring others to raise their own bar. I want to ask this question. What are you in leadership for? Is it for fame, for glory, for name, to fill your wallet and your purse, to get back at others, or to prove to others that you are smarter or you got better credentials? What are you in leadership for? Is it for greed, for personal aggrandizement? What are you in leadership for? If the answer is one of these, then you are not a leader. You are not a leader. You are a mistake that happened to be in leadership by accident. Because a great leader inspires others to raise their own bar. I want to read a passage of scripture from the Word all-time bestseller, The Word, W-O-R-L-D, all-time bestseller, Judges chapter 11. I want to read from the Amplified version of the Holy Bible. 1. Judges 11:1. Now Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty warrior. Now the scripture is talking about his future. You see, life is not about where you are, it's about where you are headed. He was a mighty warrior, but that's not how his background or his family or his present reality saw him. But he was the son of a harlot or the prostitute. Gali was Jephthah's father, a mighty warrior, but he was the son of a prostitute. And Gali's wife also bore him sons. And when his wife's sons grew up, they thrust Jephthah out and said to him, you shall not have an inheritance among us. You know, you're the son of a prostitute. You can't be here. They reminded him his mother was a prostitute. He's the son of a prostitute. That's all they reminded him of. And the elders of the town, of the city, of the nation said nothing. Then Jephthah fled from his brothers and dwelt in the land of Tob. And worthless men gathered around him. Worthless men, useless, purposeless men gathered around him and went on raids with him. They went on raids. All they had to survive by fighting. And after a time, the Ammonites made war against Israel. After a time, the Ammonites made war against Israel. And when the Ammonites made war against Israel, the elders of Galilee went to bring Jephthah. They went to bring Jephthah out of the land of Tob to fight for him, the son of the prostitute. They reminded your mother is a prostitute. They went for him to come and wage war. Because he learned how to fight war over the process of time. Inspiring others to raise their own bar. Verse 6. And they said to Jephthah, come and be our leader. Did I hear that? The son of a prostitute, mother is a prostitute. Come and be our leader, that we may fight with the Ammonites. You have to be a leader that can raise our bar, inspire us to raise our own bar. What they didn't do for him, they expect to get out of him. It's so sad. But Jephthah said unto the elders of Galilee, did you not hate me and drive me out of my father's house? Did you not hit me and you drove me out of my father's house? Why have you come to me now when you are in trouble? Because we need you. That's if we didn't need you, we wouldn't have come. That's what people do. People hang around you because of what they can get out of you. It's not because they're interested in your promotion, your happiness, or your good or your well-being. It's because they are suckers. They are liabilities. And the elders of Gilead said to Jephthah, this is why we have turned to you now, that you may go with us and fight the Ammonites and be our leader over all the citizens of Galilee, that you may go and fight. That all we interested in going and fight for us. Jephthah said to the elders of Galilee, if you bring me home again to fight against the Ammonites, and the Lord gave them into my hands, I will be your head. And the elders, because he's like, I want to get this straight. This is exactly what you're saying. And the elders of Galilee said to Jephthah, the Lord is witness between us. If we do not do as you have said, the Lord is witness. So he went with them to fight for them. I want to talk about the Galilee elders' leadership. These were elders, age, with experience, but their choices, their decision, they didn't match the age. They didn't match the age. You see, the Galilee elders' leadership, this type of leadership, you know what they do? They are suckers. They are consumers. They are liability. They don't invest into anything. They don't inspire others to succeed because they have failed. They want you to fail. You are around them. They see you as the problem. They see you as the reason for their misfortune. The direction they didn't give you, they expect it out of you. You see, they want to set a high standard and hold you accountable for when they can hold themselves accountable for that standard. That's the Galilee elder leadership attitude. They drove the young man. They reminded him of his past. His mother is a prostitute. He's a son of the prostitute. You see, no one can hold you responsible from where you come from, what the family, the background, the tribe you were born in. But what people can hold you responsible for is what you're capable of doing. That's all we do in this nation. We often remind people of their past, of their tribal association, affiliation, of their level of education. That is not leadership. Leadership is an attitude that inspires others to raise their own bar. So they say, go away. We don't need you. You don't fit in our cycle. You didn't start this party with us. You didn't start this church with us. You didn't start this network. You didn't start the organization with the culture of exclusion. But we want to be great. Sometimes the greatness you need is not inside of you. It's not necessarily that you started to think you're going to be the one to make it great. And then we tie institution around people, around certain individual. Because they got credentials, because they got a background. They got a connection. That's not leadership. This was the son of a prostitute. His mother was a prostitute. They kept reminding him. That's why the Galilee elder leadership type do. They remind you often of your disadvantages, of your past. People have done that to us before. Your parents were poor. And who know your people. But leadership is none of those. You know why? The Galilee elder leadership needs to come to the place and know your generational limitation and use your generational limitation to allow the next generation to succeed by offering generational leverage. What is generational leverage? I couldn't go this far. I stopped this far. I had limitation. I made choices and decisions and fail at the results. And failure is not a crime as long as you fail while trying to get it right. Because you know why? Life is the only school where we sit the test before learning the lesson. And in most cases, we fail the test, but the lesson is learned. That's why make experience very powerful. So what happened? I might be ahead, but I might fail so many times as a leader. I need to know my limit and use my generational leverage so that the next generation after me will not feel where I feel. If I might be 50 years old, have 30 years of leadership experience, the next man I'm mentoring is 25 years old, I need to offer him, he has the strength, the enthusiasm, I need to offer him a 30 years plus his 25 years, at 55 years, he's going to be 55 years ahead of his time. I need to offer him that generational leverage so that he will succeed. But look at our society. Where people feel 50 years ago, we are still feeling. Where people feel 30 years ago, we are still feeling. A leadership will be in power and feel. The next leadership come and feel. That's not leadership. Because of the culture of exclusion. And you know, we get associated with this person because they were in our government before, because they associated with a group before, because they got this background. And not seeing what the individual has to offer, what is in the individual. And you know, we limit people potential because of their association. That's why they did to send a young man out. But I love the Jephthah leadership. He went out, gathered vain men, rebels, worthless men. Real leadership doesn't complain. You know, I don't have budget, that's why I can clean the city. I don't have budget, that's why I can do this. Leadership is finding solution to problem. It's not complaining about problem. Leadership is not getting to place and seeking popularity and wanting to be loved. Leadership is prepared to make difficult decisions and prepared to stand by those decisions. That's why Tony Blair said the art of leadership is not saying yes because it's easier to say yes. It's saying no. You know, I listen to this thing. I say, my people, what are we in? I don't have budget for this. I don't have budget for this. No budget for that. You know, no budget for that. The other people were in power, so they just did that. The other people were in power. No, that's why you're there to find solution. Leaders solve problem. I listen to our leaders. They on radio, they complain. All they do is complain. All they do is complain. These are babies. That's why the Bible says, woe to a nation whose leader, whose king, whose prince is a baby and feasts from morning to evening. Instead of finding solution, instead of doing critical thinking, the problem is, how do I find solution for it? They shift blame. They always shift blame. They don't own up to respond. They don't own up to failure and responsibility and take responsibility. They say, I am here. I'm the cause of the problem. I'm going to solve it. That's what leadership does. Because you know what? It doesn't matter what the people say about you at that moment. It doesn't matter their opinion and their consensus. Beloved, guess what happened? When you produce results, the people change their mind about you tomorrow. I love the Jephthah leadership. Took vain men, process them. Over time, guess what happened? When every man had fallen, he was the last man standing. They said, come go and fight for us. It was not by choice. It was the only option. Because he processed himself. He put these vain men together, even though they were fighting men, but he organized them, gave them purpose, gave them vision, gave them values that were worth dying for and also worth living for. And we always think certain career is better than the other. Nobody is doing more than the other. That's why I love the Bible. God made the sun, moon, and the stars also. I'm proud to be who I am. I'm never intimidated by others' gift. I might not be a sun. I might not be a moon. I might be a star. But we need a society that inspires others to produce a greatness in them. That's one of the reasons why this nation is struggling. I'm an author, I'm a writer of songs and poems and all that kind of stuff. Beloved, I've written many scripts, taken it to people, even publishers in Liberia. They never see anything. But when I did my first self-publishing on Create Space, and I traveled to the States several times, and when I went places to preach, people want to buy my books. It might not be sophisticated, but the revelation, the things that were inside were deep, and people will go after it. People say, man, you got something. You are a star. I heard Americans, I heard strangers say that to me. And that inspired me, that motivated me. You got a great ministry. I had to travel outside this country before I value my ministry. South Africa and other places before the people appreciated what was inside of me. But this nation, there's something about us. We feel intimidated by the ones who are coming after us. Beloved, the son will always be greater. That's Bible principle. They will always carry greater portion because they're using your generational leverage. But they can't be great without you. If this nation must be great, we need leaders who can inspire others to raise their own bar. That's the only way we can have a Liberia Rising. That's the only way can a Liberia Rising work. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you next time. If the video is a blessing to you, leave your comment and help us to improve and make Liberia better. This is a channel dedicated exclusively to Liberia. Have a good day.